ChannergyOrders includes a full order entry system, as well as order import from various channels and from flat files. We're going to go over how to enter an order in ChannergyOrders so you can see what they look like, and we'll discuss how they would appear in there from various channels like Amazon, etc. So to start, we'll click on the Orders button to go to an order history. Now in the demo, you see all orders for all time because I'm not logged in. But if I were a user logged in, I would see my own orders for that day, including orders that are still open and need to be finished, and any that have been completed. To take an order, click the Take an Order button, and then you can search for a customer on as few or as many of these fields as you like. If you get a match, you can double click them or click Next. If not, you can click Add Customer and create the account with what you've already keyed. I'm going to use John Smith here. This takes you to his customer screen. This is his billing address, his shipping. You can have as many shipping as you like. I'll show you how that works in a moment. His phone, email, etc. This you can fill out as little or as much as you like before proceeding. Also, when an order is imported, we'll create this for you automatically, but we will check first to see if it already exists so we don't create a duplicate. And if we do, if perhaps they use a different name or email, there's a merge function so that you can create one document or one customer out of multiples. All the orders and contacts will roll up underneath the one that you merge. When you click Next, it takes you to the order screen. Again, if I were logged in, it would grab my operator ID automatically, so I'll just be Joe here for the demo. You can also create tags for orders coming from various sources like Amazon, eBay, multiple stores within each of those, etc. If you use source keys, codes on catalogs, promo codes, etc., you can select them here, and that does a couple of things. First of all, it will assign that key to the order so you know where it came from. Also, the original key or the first key that you assign to a customer's account becomes their original key, so that tells you where the customer came from. They can be handy because they may buy something that you lose money on or don't make a lot on, but if they continue to buy, that ad found you a buying customer. And we have reports that tell you if your ads are making or losing money. In addition, keys can do things like add free gifts, discounts, etc. If you have multiple companies, you can select them here, or we can automatically select them based on multiple things, where it's coming from on an import, what operators logged in, what products are added to the order, etc. And we'll print different invoice headers, different emails, etc., so that the name of the company that it's coming from will show up automatically. This is the billing address we saw on the previous screen. This is the shipping. You could key a different shipping address, or if it imported with a different shipping address, it would show here, and all previous addresses would be in history. You can look them up, you can reuse them, run reports on them, etc. These notes will update as I go through the order. You can also type your own internal notes on the order. I'll also show you how to type notes to and from the customer in a bit. If you do drop ship, we'll show you that in a moment. When you're ready to add products, you can key them, you can scan them, you can use our search utility. With the search utility, you can search on product number, description, long description. You can search across all of those at the same time with a common word. From here, you can add them to the order. You can also get more information. You can right-click or press the F2 key to go to a read-only version of the product screen. This we'll go over in another video, but this is the product screen for ChannergyOrders, where we have products set up and their connections to various channels. Your operators during order entry can see all this information, although you can limit some of what they are able to view, including any attachments. And here you could have images, Word docs, web pages, PDF files, etc. Images will show up right up here in the interface. Word docs, PDF docs, etc. will open up in their native program. So they can have a lot of information at their fingertips, answer customer questions, etc. You can also add with customization. Certain products you could preset customization. So you can have up to 20 discrete fields that you create yourself. They can pull from information like name, phone number, etc. You can also create your own fields that they key into. So it prompts the operator to put in this information that can be used with other software, with printing machines for monogramming, personalization, etc. There's also a large, actually unlimited length custom field where you can type as much as you want, typically used for instructions. You can have those pre-built and edit them at order entry, or like I did, just key them in here. It shows up under the item on the invoice, packing list, on emails, etc. And you control where that shows up. And added those to the order. And you can continue to add to the order. You can see how many you have left in stock. You can update that on the fly so you can let customers know if things are going out of stock. These 4 custom fields can be renamed in preferences. They're set at the product level, so it can be information specific to your type of product. When you click OK, it drops you back into the interface, And you can still make changes to the products, prices and quantity changes, view the same kind of details that we did before. Also, when a product's selected, you can see an order message here when it's relevant. That's typically used for upsell and cross-sell information, as well as those custom builds we saw. So if you want to add items to an order based on the product added, perhaps it needs batteries, etc., you can do that. We also have an Assemblies feature that can be used, and that's at the product level, so we'll show you that in the product videos, that would automatically add items and can optionally indent them, make them part of a kit. So those can be edited as well, and it's a good way to add items to the order. You can select a shipping method down below. You can also have a preset shipping method that occurs automatically for all orders that you can then override. Shipping methods can be preset at the product level too, so if those products are added to an order, it'll automatically use that method. Channergy works with different shipping software: UPS, WorldShip, FedEx Ship Manager, Indicia Pro, Stamps.com, HarveySoft. There's several we support. As soon as an order is in Channergy, it's also immediately available to those systems. If you know your weights, you can simply print out labels, put them on the packages, and you're done. It'll bring back into Channergy the tracking number, etc. If you don't know your weights, we can help you learn those over time. And for ones that you will never know, or packages that are grouped together of items that you don't typically group, you can either go to your shipping software and key or scan in the Channergy order number. That can be a barcode on invoices, packing lists, pick lists, etc. It'll be pre-populated in your shipping software with the shipping address, the estimated weight, the method, etc. All you have to do is weigh it, print out the labels, and you're done. We also have the ability to do that from within the system. We'll cover that in batch processing in another video. Whichever method that you use, it will push back to Channergy the tracking number, the charges to you, which you can compare to what you're charging the customer, see if you're making or losing money, the weight, the date, the method, etc. We'll use this information to push up to your channel so your customers can see that the order is shipped, click on the tracking number. We can also email all or a subset of your customers. Maybe you want to skip your Amazon customers, for example, so that they can see the order shipped and click on the tracking number. Another thing that we can do for you is calculate the best shipping method based on your business rules. Unlike a GUI or an interface where there's only a limited number of items that you can select, we use scripting. So you can have as many elements making up that logic as you like. For example, if it's under 13 ounces, use USPS priority. If it's over and it's in the same zone and the customer ordered 3-day, you probably could still get away with ground. Calculating dimensional weight, all kinds of different factors can go into that. In short, what it means is rather than micromanaging your shipping, we can automatically recommend the best shipping method. You can still change it at shipping. It will show up in any shipping software that you're using or through our batch processing. But the cheapest, fastest method would be the one that would show up, or whatever your business rules might be. That can include multiple warehouses, drop shippers, etc. When you're talking to a customer, you can take a payment. Channergy supports multiple types of payments: credit cards, of course, checks. You can invoice customers and bill them later. Channergy can create statements for you. You can apply gift certificates. If you use a point system or store credit, we can do that. PayPal, etc. In the case of credit cards, we support about 100 different providers. If you would like, you can store the credit card number. You don't have to. There's an option so that you would not store a number after it's been charged. And that's something you would weigh against PCI compliance with your merchant services provider or bank, whoever's doing your credit card processing for you. But in the case where we do store it, it's encrypted for PCI compliance purposes. You can see the first digit and the last 4. It'll be masked when you select it, but you can still charge it. You'll have an authorized button right here. Simply click that button. We'll go out and get an approval code. It takes 2 or 3 seconds, which I will fake here for you. And that will mark it as paid. For a basic order, you're done, but there's several more things that you can do if you like. If you want to type a message to this customer, you could. You can also have pre-built messages on invoices, packing lists, emails, etc. You can have messages that you create and have selectable from the pull down. In addition to that first message, there's the second message field as well. These can be used different ways. Some of our customers like to use this to retrieve questions from channels like Amazon, etc., and then put their answers here that the customer sees on the invoice or an email. Others like to use this for responses to customers and use this for internal use on pick lists, packing lists, etc. There's also an alternate order number field. That would be the order number that's assigned to the channel. Amazon, eBay, etc. would have a different number than the sequential number that's assigned by Channergy, which, by the way, can start at whatever number you like. Either one or both of those can be on invoices, packing lists, etc., emails, and you can search on either one of them. So if a customer were to call or write about it, you'd be able to find it. And there's additional fields for that as well, including another alternate number, a customer ID typically used with eBay. If you do commissions, royalties, etc., you can assign a sales rep here. You can also pre-assign that at the customer level, so when you're keying an order, it automatically comes up. You can have a second one as well. You can prioritize orders. You create these so they're whatever you like. If you want to create a rush one, for example, that could push it to the top of the list. And again, we can cover that in batch processing video, what we call process orders or fulfillment. You can have terms that you create your own terms, and then again, you can set them here, or you can preset them at the customer level so they automatically appear here whenever you key in an order and select invoicing or billing. Order sources, anything you like. We created a few here, for example, and this is a manually selected field. Remember too, we're also tagging orders where they're coming from. So we know, for example, if an order is coming from Amazon or coming from eBay, etc. But this is additional information that can be useful. You can hold an order indefinitely or until a specific date, and on that date we'll release the order into the queue. So that's good if you do pre-orders, if you're waiting for payment to clear, like a PayPal payment, that kind of thing. There's an override capability which is set up in preferences, so if you want to limit your folks to keying orders to a certain level without management override, this is where that would occur. It would automatically track who overrode it and what reason they gave in the override box, which for this particular order we don't need an override, so we can't pop that up. There's 2 unlimited length messages. Works well for gift messages or just for any other long message that you like. That can be printed on the invoice, packing list, email as separate cards. Again, like any field in Channergy, you have control of that. There's also a shipping message that will push out to the shipping software. So that would show up in, say, UPS World Ship on the instructions, etc., for different carriers. Good for things like bad dog, leave on back porch, that kind of thing. If you do work orders or if you're creating merchandise on the fly, we can do full manufacturing with raw materials to finished goods. And typically with that, you might want to use the planned delivery date and planned install date. These can mean whatever you like. So if you want to create something and then deliver it a week later or have it arrive on a specific date, these in conjunction with the hold date gives you 3 dates that you can use for creating those work orders, etc. Notice the order went on hold. I selected that during that particular phase. This is also a place in the demo where we like to show off the report writer. We have a pre-built invoice, so I'll just pop that up here. And this is our default plain paper 8.5 by 11 invoice. Let me make this a little bit bigger for you to see. This uses our built-in report writer, which is a very powerful tool. This is a fully customizable format, so you can move things around, put your logo on it, make it fit a pre-printed form, change the size, etc. It's also got its own built-in query tool. Looks a lot like Access if you're familiar with that. So you have tables up above, fields down below. You can put filters and prompts on it, etc. Again, a very powerful tool. We'll cover this in more detail in the reports video, but wanted to give you a quick peek of what it looks like. Here we won't save our ugly changes, but we will say it printed correctly, and it will keep track of that. You can also exclude orders that you process at an individual order level from the batch processing later since they've already been fulfilled. And typically they would change from a committed status to a ship status, which you can do manually by simply selecting it from here, so marking everything shipped. Also notice we have a dropship item in this order. You can set up dropship rules at the product level, and we'll again show you that in another video. But for any product, you can have it shipped from your warehouse, from multiple drop shippers. You can resort the priority of that based on feeds. So if you're getting different quantities or costs from your vendors, etc., we can change which one comes up first. We can partially or fully automate drop shipping depending on your drop shipper and what their capabilities are. The simplest format for those drop shippers that are not too sophisticated is to simply go to the dropship PO here and say create POs. We'll make a purchase order for each unique situation you have below. We only have 1 item from 1 vendor here, but if you had 2 items from 1 vendor, it would still make 1 PO. If you had 2 items from 2 vendors, it would make 2 POs, etc. You can then go into that purchase order, make any changes if you need to. It's going to this vendor. It's going to be sent to John Smith, his home address. If you want to put any other instructions or change the product, etc. And when you're ready, simply come up here to reports and email this as a PDF. You could also print it or fax it. We can create files and FTP it and push it up and grab response files and bring them down. But again, this is the simplest way. When that order is filled, that vendor can email you, fax you, call you, whatever the method is, and then you can come to this particular item and mark it as shipped. And typically you would also enter tracking information at that time. Again, we can fully automate. So if a vendor is sophisticated enough to say have an FTP site or a portal that we can talk to, then rather than going through that manual process, we'll simply take your dropship orders during the day or at the end of the day, whatever you specify, push them to them automatically, wait for a response, grab that, bring it in, mark them as shipped, get the tracking number, and in all cases we'd upload that so the customer knows the order has shipped. We can also email them. So you can fully automate that process or partially with dropshippers and save yourselves a lot of manual effort. So that's the order entry system in Channergy. We'll be visiting this a little bit detailed from the customer screen as well because you can edit orders from there. So visit our customer video.